Hello, I'm Esther Kuria, a counselor based at AIC in Njoro Town. I'm welcoming you once again to our counseling desk. Our today's segment, we are going to continue looking into mental health issues during the COVID-19 pandemic. As we are all aware, this has not been normal times. We've been forced to have a new normal. And today we are going to look into the issue of stress and stress management. COVID-19 has produced a lot of uncertainty and persistent worry, anxiety, depression, fear, anger has been experienced a lot by most people. And today we are going to look into stress and stress management as a way of helping us in our mental health issues during this COVID-19 pandemic. And first and foremost, I'll begin by saying that stress or feeling stressed is a normal response during these abnormal times. And we are going to ask ourselves, what is stress? Let's begin by defining stress. And stress is a normal psychological and physical reaction to the demands of life. A small amount of stress is helpful for us. It motivates us, it energizes us to perform our tasks or our duties well. But when it persists, when the stress levels persist, when the daily challenges of life or the demands of life, the paying of bills, even the issue that we are being faced with, the COVID-19 issue, when it is prolonged like the way it has been prolonged, then definitely it pushes us beyond our ability to cope. And our brain is hardwired with an alarm system as a way of protecting us. When your brain perceives a threat, it signals the body to respond or to release hormones, the stress hormones, that increase our heart rate, raises our blood pressure, and energizes us. This is what we call the fight or flight response, which fuels us to deal with the threat that is at hand. And once the threat is gone, the body returns to normal and it goes back to a relaxed state. Unfortunately, when there is a non-stop, complication comes in. A complication comes in and the alarm system is unable to shut. However, if you're living with high-level stress, you're putting your entire body at risk. And this wreaks havoc in your body, in your psychological equilibrium, as well as your physical health, which narrows your ability to think clearly, function effectively, and even enjoy life. So stress management gives you a range of tools to reset your alarm system. So when we'll be looking at the stress and stress management, we are definitely resetting our alarm system so that we are able to function normally. And this will help our mind and body adapt. Without it, your body might always be on a high alert. And over time, the chronic stress can lead our bodies or our health into danger. So we won't wait until this happens. So don't wait for stress to damage your health or your relationship or your quality of life. Start practicing stress management strategies, and we are going to look at them. But before we go looking at them, let's look at what are the signs of stress. What are the signs of stress that come in our thinking, in our body, in our emotions, or in our behavior? When you find in your behavior that you want to be alone, and there is trouble for you to complete tasks, or you blaming others for your stress, then you could be stressed. In your emotions, if you find trouble relaxing, you're feeling irritable, you're feeling down, you're feeling anxious, this could be signs that you're stressed. If you find in your body there's an increase or a decrease of energy, you're feeling lethargic, there's body tension, you're feeling restless, you're sweating, you're easily startled, you're having headaches, there's changes of appetite, sometimes you're feeling like eating, other times you don't want to eat, there's difficulty in sleeping, then you could be stressed. If when you're in your thinking, you're easily distracted, or you have trouble concentrating or trouble remembering things, this could be a sign that you're stressed. So those are some of the signs that you could be stressed. Now that we have looked at what stress is, we have looked at the signs of stress, the third thing that we are going to look at is identifying the sources of stress in our lives. How do we identify the sources of our stress? Because stress management starts with identifying the source of stress in your life. And it is not as easy as it sounds. Your sources of stress, true sources of stress may not be obvious. It's all too easy to overlook our own stress-inducing thoughts, feelings, or behaviors. And to identify your true source of stress, look closely into your habits. What are your habits? What is your attitude? What are the excuses you give for your stress? So when you do this, you'll find yourself identifying the cause or the source of your stress. And one way of doing this is starting a stress journal. A stress journal can help you identify the regular stressors in your life and the way you deal with each of them. Each time you feel stressed, keep a track on it in your journal. As you keep a daily log of your stressors, you'll begin to see patterns. You'll begin to see the patterns and the common themes. So in this stress journal, write down what caused your stress. And even if you're not even aware of what caused it, make a guess. How did you feel? Both emotionally and physically. How did that stress make you feel? The other thing, how did you act? How did you respond to that stress? What you did to make yourself feel better. That is the other thing. How did you make yourself feel better? So you begin by what caused the stress, how it made you feel, how you acted, and how you responded. When you start this stress journal, you will find yourself keeping a track on what is the source of your stress. What is really making you feel stress? You'll find yourself identifying your sources of stress, because that's the first thing for you to manage your stress. If you don't know what is making you feel stress, you won't manage it. But if you'll know the source of your stress, if you'll have that stress journal, it will help you identify your sources of stress. And from this point now, we are going to look at how do you cope now with the stress? How have you been coping, or how do you cope with your stress? Because sometimes we find that some of our coping mechanisms for stress, some of them are helpful and others are unhelpful. Some of them are healthy, others are unhealthy. And unfortunately, many people cope with stress in ways that compound the problem. It makes the stress even worse. So let's look at the unhealthy ways of coping with stress. What are some of the unhealthy ways of coping with stress? And some of these unhealthy ways, one of it is smoking. The other one is drinking too much, overeating or undereating. Some people also deal with stress by zoning in too much on their television or on their TV or computer. You're so glued to it. Sometimes others withdraw from people. You want to withdraw from friends and family or even activities. Others use pills or drugs as a way of coping. Others want to sleep too much. They want to always be in bed, sleeping. Others even procrastinate. You don't want to do the chores or your daily things, your daily duties, procrastinating. Or you even taking out your stress on others. You're involving yourself in arguments or even outbursts. You're angry. You're even, some people even become physical. They want to be violent on others as a way of coping with their stress. These are some of the unhealthy ways that some people deal with stress. But we also have the healthy ways of dealing with stress. And the healthy ways of managing or coping or dealing with our stress are the ones that are going to help us during this COVID-19 pandemic. And let's look at how do we deal with the stress or our stresses during this COVID-19 pandemic. Some of the tips that will help you deal with stress or keep your stress at bay is keeping a positive attitude. Like even now, some people are even always talking about this COVID issue as if it's something that has no end. But if we become positive that even this will come to an end, be positive about it. Let's know that the scientists are working day and night to come up with a vaccine or even the medicines that can curb this pandemic. Let's be positive about it. Also, let's accept the fact that the events that are happening around us, some of the things we have no control over. Because one of the way that we become stressed is when we feel overwhelmed or like we are not in control. So accept that there are events or there are things that you cannot control. Be assertive and not aggressive. Assertiveness is the opposite of aggressiveness. So be assertive. Assert your feelings, your opinions, and your beliefs instead of becoming angry or defensive. Learn to practice relaxation techniques. Learn to practice relaxation techniques through breathing exercises, meditation, yoga. Yeah. Also, exercise regularly. Your body can fight stress by exercising. Because when you exercise, your body produces endorphins, which are key in making you feel good. Eat healthy. Have a healthy diet. Make sure you eat a healthy, balanced diet. Set limits appropriately and learn to say no to some requests. Sometimes we give ourselves too much to others. So learn to say also no. Learn to manage your time effectively. Make time for hobbies, interest, and relaxation. Sometimes we work so much and we leave no time for relaxing. Make sure you have your me time. Yeah, learn to give yourself time to break from the normal activities. Take breaks. Take regular healthy breaks. Also, get enough time to rest and to sleep. Sometimes we are working too hard that we don't give ourselves time to rest or even to sleep. Make sure you are sleeping well, because your body needs time to recover and to rejuvenate. Don't rely on alcohol or drugs or even other compulsive behaviors to reduce your stress. Some people find that when they are stressed, like we said earlier, some of the unhealthy ways of coping with stress, they go to smoking and to drinking. This is not healthy for you. So make sure you don't rely on drugs or even alcohol. Seek out for social support. Seek social support from your friends or even from counselors and psychologists during this time. Make sure you're calling people to seek social support from them. Spend enough time with those people who energize you, those people who make you feel happy. Yeah, seek social support. Also seek treatment with a psychologist or mental health professionals who are trained in stress management. Also, it's good to realize that during this time, it's also time to break out from the norm. You can even get out and take a walk. You can you can make sure that during this time you are doing those things that you enjoy doing. If you are that person who loves reading, who enjoy reading, this is the time to read. If you are this person who enjoy listening to music, this is the time to do so. So do those things that make you feel good, because this is the only way that you will be relieving yourself from the stress of the times that we are living with. So thank you very much. I hope that you're getting help from our counseling desk. We are looking into our mental health during this time, because we know as much as we need our physical health, we also need our mental health. So make sure you seek help when you need it. Make sure you seek social support from people, and also help others. It is also a time for you to also help others, because when we help others, when we look into what we can do to others, it can also be a way of relieving our own stress and making ourselves not aware of the things that are troubling us during this time. And let's keep hope alive. Let's keep hope alive that these two will come to an end. These two will pass. The COVID-19 is not an eternity thing. It's going to pass, and we are going to come out of it together. So God bless you very much, and keep hope alive. Thank you. Thank you very much.